Oh, it's almost that time. The Rise of Skywalker will be released in just a few short days, and guess what? The media is going to apologize for all the mean things that it said about the Star Wars fans. It will, because Disney wants that money. So it's going to force its people to go out there and actually, all the shills out there, and say, I'm sorry for calling you guys names like man babies and toxic and all that other garbage like sexist and stuff just because you didn't like The Last Jedi. I can't wait to read all the articles about how sorry they are that they called us those names. Ah, jeez. Guess I was wrong. So it looks like we have another interesting article, this time by Cnet. Cnet doesn't want us to be jerks. They want Star Wars fans to be happy people, doing happy things. Let's go read this together. Star Wars fans, let's not be jerks about The Rise of Skywalker. Commentary, fan reaction to The Last Jedi was scary. I know I was terrified by the fan reaction. I stood at home in a fetal position and sobbed for hours on end, hoping that Rian Johnson wouldn't come eat me. We don't need a repeat. This is by Aaron Carson. The release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker is just days away. It is, and from what we are hearing so far from some of the reaction of the people who have seen The Rise of Skywalker, it is polarizing indeed. This is the complete opposite, by the way, of what we saw when The Last Jedi was actually released. And what we saw with The Last Jedi was that everyone was universally happy with The Last Jedi. It was the greatest film ever made. If you had strips of film in a historical database, The Last Jedi would be that strip of film. It was that important to the universe. Okay, let's see. Purchase the culmination of a decades-long saga. This is the thing that bothers me the most about all the shills out there. Calling it the end of the Skywalker saga is complete and total bullshit. The end of the Skywalker saga, if you want to look at it canon-wise or chronologically in the actual films, was Return of the Jedi. And the last film of the Skywalker saga that was ever produced was Revenge of the Sith. That is where, when I say that last film, movie, there are obviously cartoons and other things that were right there in between that era. But the last film of the Skywalker saga, the last one that had anything to do with Skywalkers, was Revenge of the Sith. And I don't care if they came out in this next one, Rise of Skywalker, and they say that Rey is a Skywalker. I don't care if they say that. This still had nothing to do with the Skywalkers. Nothing at all. Luke doesn't even show up in the first one. Okay, you have Ben Solo, obviously. He's in it. And you could count him as a Skywalker because his mom is Leia. But, I mean, would you really? Would you really want that? Would you want that emo baby in your family? I don't think so. It's logical to expect fans are going to have feelings, excitement, apprehension, mild nausea from too much popcorn. All are valid. One emotion we could probably live without: rage. Aaron, are you prepping us for something? Do you think people are really they're gonna rage quit this franchise? Is that what it is? We're gonna rage quit this franchise. Guys, listen to me. That's sexist. Why would you say guys? Why not people? Okay? Pronouns, pal. Whatever happens, let's be cool about this, okay? I get it. You're super invested in this whole franchise. The prequels didn't go so well. Wow. Wow. You know why I'm wowing, right? She said, I get it. You're super invested in this whole franchise. The prequels didn't go so well. Let me tell you something. There are a lot of people out there, and I'm not saying I'm one of them, but I kind of am one of them, that thinks Revenge of the Sith is the second best in the entire its entire franchise. That Revenge of the Sith is the second best. Empire, Revenge, New Hope. That's a lot of people's lists. Force Awakens and Last Jedi are probably on the bottom of everybody's list. I mean, if you're really honest with yourself about this Star Wars franchise, Rogue One was better than Last Jedi, hands down. And there was a lot about Rogue One that was better than Force Awakens. A lot about Rogue One that was better than Force Awakens. And no one's going to say that Return of the Jedi is worse than Rogue One. I mean, what can you really say? Maybe Attack of the Clones? Maybe that one's one of the worst. Phantom Menace? I don't know. Pod Racing was pretty fucking cool. I don't know. What can you say about Last Jedi that was pretty fucking cool? Nothing. It looked cute. That's what it was. But look at this. So she deflects. She starts talking about the prequels. Fuck off. The Force Awakens, A New Hope of getting a good Star A New Hope of getting good Star Wars movies again. Fuck off. Revenge of the Sith was not a bad Star Wars movie. This person is obviously just on the ass tail of what media assumes most people think about the prequels. Most people were disappointed in A Phantom Menace, and they thought that there's a lot of things that could have been done better with The Phantom Menace, but I don't think they completely, totally hated it. And the proof is in the fact that they went to go see the other fucking movies. You know, you didn't have the same situation where people were just like, we quit this franchise. They kept buying toys. They kept, getting the books, buying the video games. Last Jedi seriously halted all of that. So, let's see here. Now, finally, 4 years. She doesn't even talk about... She's not even talking about... Okay, let's see here. Let me just keep going here. Jeez, this is kind of long here. Okay, I'm not going to read everything, but here we go here. The Force Awakens. Will raise parents be real? It's kind of redeemable. Will I drown upon my own tears upon seeing Carrie Fisher? Like I said, feelings. Sure. I mean, you would drown in a puddle of your own tears seeing Carrie Fisher. That right there just shows you're a piece of shit shill right there. Sorry, but that just sounded stupid. I'm gonna drown in a puddle of my own tears upon seeing Carrie Fisher. It's like that guy who made the video and he started crying as soon as the damn thing, it showed Ray. I was like, fuck out of here with that bullshit. Here's the problem. Fans' response to 2017's The Last Jedi was kind of a shit show, and it didn't have to be. That's why I'm bracing for impact this week, but also imploring anyone who's apt to lose their mind if The Rise of Skywalker doesn't meet some specific set of expectations to just exercise some restraint. Listen, even Disney's already abandoning this bullshit right here, that this chick is, that this young lady, or this wonderfully wonderful person is writing. They're already abandoning this shit because they know that all this right here, all this spin isn't working. It's not putting asses in seats in theaters anymore. That's why they're buying out. They're buying out the sides of each theater to try to make it seem like more people are showing up. They're buying out the size of these theaters because they want to make it seem like more people are showing up than they have to. And guess what that does to the bottom line? They're thinking of it like this. We'll buy it, we'll make it look like it's viable, and people will start to jump on board again. They'll jump on board because they'll say, oh, look, well, it must be good. Or Star Wars must be great because it sold so many tickets and So many, and look at all these shills out here. They're saying how fantastic it is and how the Galaxy's Edge is so wonderful and my blue milk doesn't taste like dog crap. And they're talking about how, the Rise of the Resistance ride is the greatest ride that was ever made with some of the greatest technology that we have never seen before except in Hong Kong. And, what are we going to do? We got to go see it. And it's all a load of crap. But you know what it is doing? It's adding to their marketing budget, which means Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker can make $1 billion and still not be considered a success because it's not going to make the kind of money that it should have made. It's not going to make Joker money. Let's just say it like that. It is not going to make Joker money. It would have to do $2.5 billion. I'm just throwing that number out there. But they would have to do crazy numbers in order for The Rise of Skywalker to be considered a success for Disney. For anybody who actually is rational and logic based, there is only one direction that this movie could go. I'm not here to tell you Star Wars doesn't matter. Clearly it does. Blah, 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 blah. As Disney bought Lucasfilm 2000, it only took 6 years to recoup its $4 billion investment. That, again, is a load of shit. You spent $2 billion, apparently. I mean, how much? They spent $4 billion, right? They spent $2 billion of that. $2 additional billion building the two parks, right? 2 underperforming parks in Galaxy's Edge. They lost money with Solo. They made money with Force Awakens, but they didn't make nearly as much money as they wanted to with The Last Jedi. And let's see. The rest of the movies did fairly well, but they weren't storming. They weren't making crazy amounts of money. There's no way that Lucasfilm or Disney already recouped their $4 billion because they had to invest so much more. The toys weren't selling. The licenses aren't selling like they used to. So that right there is just a whole bunch of just nonsense. Money aside, the franchise has burrowed its way into pop culture, turning up on things like 30 Rock. 30 Rock is a show that is off the air already, right? And How I Met Your Mother, another show that is off the air already. The Twitter account, Death Star PR, has more than 300,000 followers. Kim Kardashian has like 90 million, so who gives a shit about that? The Beastie Boys reference Luke and Darth Vader in the lyrics to Do It, a song that came out a bunch of years ago. And if you like it, it matters. There's a tipping point, though. When The Last Jedi came out, pockets of the internet quickly resorted to their worst behavior. Director Rian Johnson got death threats. Where are the receipts? Actress Kelly Marie Tran incurred so much online harassment that she deleted her Instagram account. Kelly Marie Tran was an interesting case. And the reason why I say that is because she said some things about the media and Hollywood that they completely gloss over. And a lot of her issues right now, or things that really bothering her, come from Hollywood themselves. Hollywood are the ones that made her feel the way that she feels. I'm not going to get into deep detail into it because that's not what this video is about. But really go look at some of the shit that she said about Hollywood and the way that they treated her for being Asian and for being a little bit heavier than most of those little sticks that they have over there, like the Kristen Stewarts. Mark Hamill had to come to her defense saying, "What's not to love? Get a life, nerds." This is the part where Mark Hamill was still under contract to try to be decent while treating a picture of the two of them together. Tran even told Good Morning America that last week that she'd been in therapy in the wake of everything. Wow. Nothing is worth... Let me tell you something. Again, what Hollywood did, or some of the things that they said about Kelly Marie Tran, despicable. Nothing is worth ginning up so much vitriol for the purpose of funneling it towards other human beings. What's more, it doesn't make much sense to introduce hate to the subject matter that you love, boost those negative signals enough. I'm just gonna look at toxicity. Don't spill your bile on the Millennium Falcon. Han would hate that. And let's be real. Palpatine would want you to send... Oh, she's trying to be funny now. Okay, whatever. I've covered online harassment and toxic fandom enough to know what drives some of this behavior. Sure. Let's talk about that. 1 second. And then we'll wrap this video up. Toxic masculinity is a made-up term. It doesn't exist. This whole idea that fans, when they don't dislike of something, if they should just shut the fuck up and just keep buying it, is stupid. There's no such thing as toxic fandom. There's such a thing as online harassment. Absolutely 110%. Everyone's in some shape or form has been harassed online or has been accused of harassing others online. It's a part of the online culture. And people like myself who make YouTube videos or public figures just in general are always going to be the target of harassments because we kind of put ourselves out there to be that. The fact of the matter is, though, that this entire article has nothing to do with toxicity, has nothing to do with online harassment. It's not making a particular statement. What it is another advertisement for a movie that will fail because it failed its audience, because it forgot where it came from, because it forgot who brought them to the dance. And, excuse me, and things like this, Star Wars fans, let's not be jerks about the rise of Skywalker, are meant to divert your attention from the fact that this is going to be a horrible movie. And it's trying to change the conversation from, wow, this is just a really bad movie and you shouldn't watch it, to, oh, well, you're just being a jerk. What do you mean? This is Disney shill at its best. This is what they're designed to do. To change the conversation to straw man arguments. But I got a feeling that you're not going to fall for it. I got a feeling that this time around, people are going to finally stand up to the Disney empire and they're going to say, no more. No more. And unfortunately, what that means is that Star Wars as a movie franchise will have to be sacrificed. And Star Wars will be a TV-based franchise from now on. When I say TV-based, I mean Disney+. But hey, shit happens. I mean, honestly, I just don't want to be a jerk about it.